first to a chilling case of abuse, violence and intimidation and the courageous woman who found a way to fight back. Reporter Rowan Wen has the details. Rowan?
Thanks, Tracy. Well, when it comes to domestic violence, a lot of us struggle to imagine what the victims are really going through. But after tonight, we're not going to need to imagine, because we've got the most extraordinary vision of abuse that was filmed by the victim. Now, for months, Alicia Gurkovic was stalked and abused by her former partner, Carlo Corso. And she filmed everything, and she's given us this vision to broadcast because she wants to start a national conversation. She wants people to see what's really going on behind closed doors. And I should give a warning here, some viewers may find some of this stuff a little confronting. Let's take a look.
So many women and children out there are dying.
Get out!
Ow.
Carlo Corso is a monster.
Oh, you got Pascal!
Violent, abusive and unhinged.
I filmed it all. I filmed everything.
Tonight we take you inside terror in our suburbs like you've never seen before. As we document in detail the sustained campaign this criminal has waged against his former partner, Alicia Gurkovic.
Carlo, what sort of a man threatens his partner with a knife?
Give me that phone now.
No!
Give me that phone.
Give me my phone!
It's the kind of shocking domestic abuse thousands of Australian women are all too familiar with. But what makes this story different is the fact that Alicia filmed everything.
Videos don't lie.
The most chilling attacks occurred when Carlo pulled out the knives. This is Alicia's video diary detailing her journey to hell and back. Her life threatened and turned upside down when her partner became her abuser. Her bravery and strength of character may have been the only thing that saved her life.
There has to be accountability. Perpetrators have to be held to account for their behaviour.
Alicia and her 2 children are on the run. They've left their home in Melbourne's west and are living out of boxes in emergency accommodation. They've moved 7 times in 21 days. And all because of one simple and tragic mistake. Alicia trusted her heart to the wrong man.
It was love at first sight. I was very happy. I'd been single for quite some time. He had too. He had a beautiful child who I took on and embraced as my own. And the children were wrapped in the newfound love and relationship that we'd established.
But as the weeks turned to months, she says Carlo's mask began to slip.
I noticed medications were taken, medications that I need and require, hidden. Property was taken, my jewellery, wallet, my cards, my credit cards were snapped. So that was a means of control.
And then one night, as she was heading out to visit a girlfriend, her worst fears were realised.
Carlo was waiting at the back door. It was very dark, and I walked out. As soon as I walked out the back door, he punched me.
The first time he hits you, what do you think?
Heartbroken. All and everything I hoped and dreamt for in this person was gone in that one punch.
From that moment on, Alicia says she never felt safe as Carlo's sick desire to control her took hold.
It'd start with a slap, and then it'd progress to one bruised, bloody eye, and it'd progress to 2 broken eyes, punched eyes, up against a wall in front of children. So gradually it progressed to a much more serious stem of assaults.
Eventually she threw Carlo out of the house, but it didn't stop him. He repeatedly broke into her home, threatening her and the kids.
Need to leave! Look, you've just put another hole in the door!
Open the door up.
I have locked myself in here for the last time! You need to leave!
Yeah, bring up the coppers.
Just go! I'm taking this all to the police tomorrow! I can't handle it!
Open the door up now!
I'm not opening it, Carlo!
Being the daughter of a former cop, Alicia knew the value of evidence, and she began to record the attacks for the police and ultimately the courts.
I had to become smarter to survive. I was that terrified. I had to become smarter than my perpetrator.
You just said...
Recording, are you?
You just said that it's 8 o'clock, you gotta get left. Oh, you got Pascal! Oh, you got the job! You got Pascal! You squashed him, you animal! He was at the door!
On other occasions, the full-time mechanic would tamper with Alicia's vehicle and wait outside her home for days.
There were times where he'd lock me in the house for 4 days at a time. He would take my car keys.
And it didn't matter to Carlo who was watching. This incident happened in front of Alicia's daughter.
What are you recording for? What are you recording the phone for? What are you recording? Huh? Kids? I'll record you. Hey,
You made me sick.
I'll record you.
You made me sick.
You want to record me?
You made me sick.
Hey. You got your kids here?
And you just spilled wine all over us.
You let me in.
I did not let you in. Just remember that.
Yeah?
Just remember I didn't let you in.
did.
I said it on film.
Yeah?
Forced entry.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with me.
Mole.
You know I didn't, Carlo.
Hey, you recording it? You recording it? Huh?
Oh!
Back recording it.
And the attempts to control didn't stop there.
Why? What are you hurting me for?
This is vision Carlo took of himself while he was driving. He's trying to get Alicia to take him back. He sent this clip to her, but as you can see, sadness quickly turns to anger.
Oh, you hurt me. You play with me. You lied to me.
A few hours after this was filmed, Carlo talked Alicia into his car, only to throw her out moments later while the car was moving. Eventually, Carlo was arrested for numerous counts of assault. He pled guilty, but incredibly, after 64 days in remand, the magistrate decided Carlo had repaid his debt to society.
How did a judge decide 64 days on remand, so never as a prisoner, was sufficient for throwing me from a vehicle, giving me black eyes, bruises?
This is just one example of what many women and children are facing across Australia. It's an epidemic.
Tracy Howe from Domestic Violence New South Wales says it's time to treat domestic violence as seriously as other crimes.
The system needs to change. Something needs to be done about this, and we need leadership. Something has to shift.
But while Alicia is on the run, Carlo is back at work, where we caught up with him.
Carlo, what sort of a man threatens his partner with a knife? Why are you running away? She's on the run now because of you.
Looking back, Alicia still can't understand how it came to this.
I knew it was only going to get worse.
But you stayed.
I did.
Can you explain why? And there's no judgment attached to that question.
I hoped I, being the person I am, could be the one to change him.
In the end, Alicia acknowledges it can be hard for women to leave an abusive relationship.
But it is better than being dead. It's better than the alternative. Get up, get out, go and speak up.
And she has this advice for men.
Men out there, they need to just realise women are not a necessity. They're not an essential that you just get given. You're lucky to have someone in your life who loves you, supports you, looks after you, wants to be with you. Don't abuse that.
Coward.
She's a brave woman. I hope she stays safe. And if you're experiencing domestic violence, you should contact the national hotline 1800 737 732.